after a hard-fought battle to defend the city of Waterdeep from an attack that our heroes may have caused, definitely caused, a night's rest, and they awaken in their tavern that is undamaged, either outside of minor smoke damage to the exterior due to Orem setting ablaze the market that was outside.
Yeah, there's definitely some scorch marks on the stone. The bottom floor is made mostly of stone, and there's definitely some scorch marks outside there. Um, I do have a question. Where would Cunk be sleeping? Would you have given him like Zaren's room, or
Yeah, we'll
would you
give him
just
his
tell him
own.
to camp out on the couch,
We'll
the
give him
comfy
Zaren's
sofa?
room. Zaren's not here.
Okay.
Yeah, kill him
Um.
off.
So as you are sleeping, well, as you're getting ready to sleep, um, there is a knock on the door to the living quarters.
I guess I'd wander downstairs.
Yeah. Uh, as you open the door, you would see your Furbolg friend Tia standing there.
Oh, Tia. She look hurt at all?
Uh, she looks should have been magically healed. No, there's like some scorch marks and stuff in her armor, but no actual hurt looking right now.
All right.
Um, hey, hey, Rebecca.
It's good to see that you're all right.
Yeah, there a lot of stuff attacked. You weren't exaggerating.
Yeah, it was bad. It kind of was our fault too, which doesn't feel great, but we did manage to get the blue dragon mask from them. Uh, so yeah, that pissed them off.
Well, that's good, I think. Uh, me and Celeste are leaving in the morning to check out what you told us to in Chult.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to tell you though, we found out that there was a translation, I guess, in what I had
Mistranslation.
told you before.
Okay.
We found out that the um the great worms don't have to be kept alive until the fight, like we had thought. They just have to die while still worthy,
Okay.
whatever that means.
So say hypothetically one of them died in the middle of this most recent battle defending Waterdeep, that probably would make them worthy.
Like if they were defending, yeah. If they were,
Attacking, no.
uh, or yeah, and then if they were running, like if they were just a bystander, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, there's only 7 of them, so it's kind of hard to say what exactly them still being worthy means. Defending is probably a safe bet.
Yeah, being honorable, upholding the ideology of Bahamut. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think they have to die while doing something worthy, though. They just have to still be worthy.
I see.
Um, yeah, we're leaving in the morning, and I wanted to make sure you knew about that. Um, and make sure you are all okay from the fight.
Yeah, Orm is a bit hurt, but he's doing better. He got some healing done at one of the medical tents. Um,
He had regular healing done, not magical healing.
yeah. Morgan wandered off somewhere. I don't know. He's not here right now.
Yeah, Morgan would still be gone.
Gone forever.
But yeah, everyone's fine here.
Okay. Think let me double check something. Well, if you need anything, I guess send do that thing again to let me know.
Will do. I need to get more. I need to get more paper birds. I'm out. And sending too. Well, the sending I'd have to buy scrolls of it, but same with the paper birds. I think the paper birds would be cheaper.
Sending not a cleric spell.
It is a cleric spell.
It's 3rd level. Okay, I was looking at the wrong level. Yeah, I would have just done that to talk to you, but a little tapped after everything that happened today.
Fair. I think
And
everyone
I'd say
is,
like just from like the noises you've been hearing while you're here. The last explosion sound you heard was probably like an hour ago. It took a while after y'all were done for everything within the walls to be mopped up.
yeah. I imagine like there might still be like a couple cultists hiding in like an alley somewhere. Because Waterdeep's a
Yeah.
big
So
city.
you'd probably see just while you were talking to Tia, you'd see a couple patrols pass in the street out this way. Um, and I think with that, she'll make her way to get some sleep before the journey.
All right, fair enough. I'll go back to bed and pass the fuck out.
The rest of the night passes rather uneventfully. Besides Rebecca's standard nightmares
Yep.
when she does actually sleep. They've been getting better. I'll say a skeletal figure features more prominently this time than the well itself. And you
Probably
would recognize this
Zarek.
as Zarek, yeah. But yeah, morning comes.
Did you just demote Zarin to the smaller room?
Yeah.
Did you? Wait, why didn't we put Cunk in the visitor? Hold up a minute.
Oh yeah, me and Lord share a room.
Well, yes, but you claimed the tower.
Yeah, the tower is definitely mine. So yeah, I guess Cunk would be in that room then.
Nope, this is how it is now.
Can't wait for Cunk and a paladin to fight.
Yeah, but to be honest, when is that gonna happen?
I mean, the character's still here whether the player is or not. He's just not. He's off doing a mission right now.
Well, it's my room for now then.
You just got to make sure no one
Imagine-
catches you leaving that room.
No, imagine if even if you did, Rebecca and Morgan would just be like, "Hold on, let's see how this plays out."
Oh, let him cook.
Yeah, let's let him cook. Wait, it's my job. But yeah, I'll say your employees would. You'd hear movement downstairs as your employees have shown
Get
up for
that
the day.
out of here.
What?
He's not here.
This fella shouldn't be here either.
Oh, he would be back. Yeah, he'd
Oh, he
be.
would.
Yeah, he'd be down there giving the cook some pointers. Um, that morning, a another figure would show up, and that's the wrong book. So yeah, Rebecca, would you and Morgan be like catching Cunk up on what's going on, or
Probably, yeah.
getting a gauge on like if he's going with you for the other shit y'all have to do?
Yeah, if he wants to come along, we'd gauge that, and if he does, we'll catch him up on everything that's been happening.
Well, it's not like he has much to do but fish.
Fishing. Right. So the next morning there would be a uh contingent of city guard show up and knock on the door.
On which door?
The door to the tavern.
Alright, I guess I would
It's up
come.
to you if you'd be down there or not yet, because there are other people that could answer it down there.
Yeah,
But
Rebecca
if you
probably would
would
be down there
be
having
down,
breakfast.
okay. Um, so it'd be just like a couple. It'd probably be like 4 city guard, and then also a city watch. Sorry, the guard or the police. Uh, no, the watch or the police. The watch or the police. Yeah, so it'd be the police. Uh, but then also someone wearing a captain of the guard of the watch outfit, who you would recognize as Gillester Silvermane, who had given you a quest in Undermountain,
Hmm.
or when you went into Undermountain.
Yeah, for the cure, right?
Yes. Morgan comes out and drops a plate of eggs on the table for Cunk. Eggs and fried fish, we'll say.
Good.
Um, uh, greetings. Is now a good time to discuss a private matter?
I look around the the bar and it's not open yet. Yeah, it's fine.
Right. You'd have like all your employees would be in here, but going around like trying to get the place fixed from the commotion of everyone rushing out yesterday.
We'd probably go up to the common area office to discuss this.
Okay. Where I'll be there. I'll see. There's no reason Morgan wouldn't come up for this, especially given
it'd probably be
your
more likely that he would drop everything to go to this because
yeah.
of what he asked us to do.
Yeah. Apologies for it taking a while since you returned to meet back up with you. And it would there's the other watch would stay down in the street. He'd be the only one that comes up.
Mhm.
Just wanted to thank you personally for retrieving the fragments and reiterate again that you have my lasting friendship for your efforts.
You're welcome. How is that coming along though?
I'm not privy to the details themselves of it. I do know that it's been showing promise, but that's about all I am aware of. I believe they decided to test it on um, one of the figures later today.
Well, hopefully it works.
Um, is Rebecca good with lasting friendship as payment, given the danger of going down that deep?
I mean, that wasn't her primary goal. Her goal was very much the spelljammer, so she was in the area anyways. And then we also needed to go down there to get the box to get the chair back anyways.
Right.
So it's not a whole major
Rebecca's
issue.
not going to try to spin this into more money.
Yeah,
Okay.
she'd like to, but she understands limits on things.
She could certainly try.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and I'm supposed to pass along another message as well. Um, the Open Lord would like to see your group um, later today in her office.
Later today. Okay.
The office would be in the Lord's Palace, like where the council is, but in a different part of the building.
Yeah. Yep. We can do that. We were planning on heading to Daggerford today, but probably do that afterwards. So meet with the Open Lord, then go to Daggerford.
Very well. If you need anything I can be of assistance with, please reach out. And do keep an eye out for any lingering cultists that may have escaped notice in the chaos of yesterday.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some in the sewers or in dark alleyways. A couple might have accidentally made it down into Waterdeep.
I don't think they'd have a good time in the sewers, as there's already the Zentarum and the Xanathar Guild there.
I mean,
in
sometimes
Waterdeep,
when you're just
everyone had a
running,
good time.
you're looking for a place to hide.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where.
Yep. I mean, you're absolutely correct.
On
The
Waterdeep, they might
Xanathar,
think would be a great place.
the
And
Xanathar, while not working with any of you, the Xanathar isn't really keen on the world ending either.
yeah,
Messes with his control. But yeah, he will uh similarly away unless there's any other questions.
unless Morgan has anything.
I mean, Morgan's worried about how the cure would go. He definitely wouldn't ask for extra payment because it's something that's saving
That
his
is
life.
his payment.
Yeah. I don't think Oirin would be asking for extra payment either.
He's like, oh, I got so many stories by going down there.
Yeah. Yeah, he had lots of new knowledge to write in his book. So yeah, he will pull away. Is there anything that either of you would want to do within the city before going away to Daggerford or meeting with the Open Lord?
Fishing.
Yeah, he could do fishing.
Uh,
I'd probably go to the Watchful Order and see if there's anything I could do to help out.
Okay. Yeah, so Cunk, you where oh, I moved Cunk instead of Zarin.
I put where I'm fishing.
he's gone all the way over there. Out on the mud flats.
Yeah. You make your way out the west gate and then all the way back up north to the little point up there. I'll say yeah. So as you make your way that way, you would see that there was obviously the much damage in this area where y'all had fought. Um, red might not be the best color, but there's a lot of colors, and I don't know what color to use. On top of a red city, a red, green, and yellow city. Rebecca, making your way to the Watchful Order, you would see, and then obviously damage in Trosco. Much of the stalls in the market destroyed. Um, the great drunkard and the tavern that's on its lap having a lot of damage.
Ooh, Morgan's not going to be happy about that.
Uh,
That's how my fishing went.
God damn.
yeah. You catch quite a lot of fish. Um, to the point where other people up the shore are noticing how much you're catching there and start trying to like crowd in on your area.
Fair enough.
But you catch, I don't know, I'll say like you took a cart with you and you filled more or less filled the wagon.
Good.
So you definitely have enough for you and your new companions. You have enough that you could probably try to sell some in the city.
Oh, once you said I had a cart full, that was my idea.
Um,
Too bad the market's destroyed.
the market's not fully destroyed, but there is a lot of damage.
Okay.
And that's just the main market. There's like, I imagine there's like smaller little markets throughout the city.
But yeah, there's like a lot of fish markets, mostly down in the dock ward. There wouldn't be much in the C ward because that's where the expensive homes are.
Make the rich people suffer by pulling around a cart of fish all the way across the city.
Yep. Yep.
Where'd be a good place down here? You two do your thing. I'll find a good place for
Fish
Cunk to
got
sell his
court,
fish.
probably.
Morgan saw damage up there.
Or on Fillet Lane.
Yeah, you make your way down to the Watchful Order area. There is a lot of magists running like in and out of the building. Or not running, but hurrying about.
Speed walking.
Yeah. Going in, getting things, going back out. Um ah, yes, you had signed up with us. Are you here for talk to prisoners again, or are you here for other business?
Looking to see where I can help out with aid. I can heal magically. Yeah, and I am able to revive someone who's been dead for less than a minute, but I would require a diamond for that.
Don't believe there's much of that, and it would be hard to send you somewhere in the city quick enough for that. But there is definitely a lot of healing Sylnia done on many of the there's so many stations along the high road. Uh where uh people haven't been able to all be gotten to, as most of the resources were spent uh yesterday. If you'd like to go and help with healing some of the populace, that would be most appreciated.
Yep, I can do that. Where along the high road is like most of the most people concentrated
So I'd say,
around?
well, I mean, so the further south you go, the more densely populated it is. Like along the dock in Southern Ward would be the most densely populated, so you would assume there'd probably be
A lot of demand there.
more people there. Though if they were desperate, they could have been going up north to try to get to what they think would be
Not as
less in
crowded.
demand areas.
Probably I go like around this area.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll say you spend somewhere between half an hour going between tents and helping out where you can. Um, you doing your
I use healing lights.
yeah
I could heal 14
uh
people.
yeah. So I'll say if you want to spend all of them, there is definitely enough people needing healing that you could spend all of them.
Yeah, I'll use
If you want to keep some,
I'll use all but 2 healing lights. So 12 people. And then I'll cure wounds 2 people.
okay. Yeah, many civilians caught in the fray. Uh, you have a feeling there were quite a few ended up dead yesterday.
Yeah.
The street you were fighting on was completely evacuated. Well, everyone on it was told to evacuate, I should say. Because that's where you were trying to bait the dragons to. The other portals opening up were kind of an unforeseen thing. So there wasn't as much preparation where the other fights had happened. But yeah. I'd say some like family members of the ones bringing in of that were like bringing in wounded um either children or spouses or the like would try to give you some money. They don't have much. So it'd
No,
be like,
I'd be turning it down.
okay. They'd be like offering you, it would be silvers and stuff like that. Not
You need that way more than I do.
okay. Yeah. Very much appreciated by the people you help and their families. Cunk, go ahead and give me an investigation roll to try to find a good place to sell.
Okay. I'm glad you said that right after I closed the window. You said
Sorry.
investigation.
Yeah.
If you
It's a
double click
normal.
the top bar where your name is, it minimizes it.
And if you shift double click on your token, it opens it.
Oh.
17. Yeah, okay. Are you looking to sell the wagon load or are you looking to keep some for yourself as well?
Probably sell like 4/5 of it.
Okay.
And then I'd give the rest to Morgan to prepare.
Okay. Um yeah, so I'll say with how much you caught, you make I mean, fish isn't super expensive, but you make a good like 20 gold.
Okay.
You would also see as you made your way down here. Oh, that's not on the map layer, is it? Is it? Can you see where it says yawning portal
I'd have to
here?
zoom in.
I do not see that.
No, I only
Okay,
see
no, it's on
Cook
the.
Street.
Oh no, it's on the GM layer.
Oh,
There we go.
there we go. Yeah, I see it now.
Um, yeah, where there's a lot of damage in the street surrounding the yawning portal. Uh, let's down here. Looking as you were walking around in the dock ward, many of the docks have taken a bunch of damage, mostly down in like this area. And then where the dry docks are in this big building here, you would notice a lot of damage to that building.
Okay.
Our spelljammer. I will also use our sending stone to contact the crew, see if they're doing okay. Philip and crew stone. So, hey Philip, Rebecca checking in. Checking in. Just wanted to make sure you and the crew were okay after yesterday's attack.
Okay.
Also, have an idea for mission.
Mission is 25.
Yep.
Um, we're okay. We're okay. We have gotten some new recruits. Uh, repairs are postponed currently while the building is made safe again.
Yikes.
Uh, ship the ship is fine though.
Okay, that's good. With the buildings unstable.
Yeah, and yours is almost certainly the only spell jammer in there, but not the only ship being worked on inside the dry docks.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're gonna make sure the building doesn't collapse before they get back to working on the ships. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd say as you help out there, and then you wander around a bit, trying to help. You end up making your way a little further south to help out as well, Rebecca. Um, you would see
Yeah, I could probably
there's
do basic, like, helping clean wounds and whatever.
yeah.
Hold
Go ahead and give
people
me just
still while they have limbs reset.
yeah. Go ahead and give me just like 3 medicine checks.
Add a d6 to that.
Yeah,
I'll add
as
a
you're
d6 to that. 5, okay. I'll add a d6 to that.
okay. So 17, 5, 13. Um, with the medicine checks, you're not really so much doing the things as like you said, just helping
Yeah,
old people down and like, oh, that doesn't look good. You need to see him instead.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, you get some good help in. One person you do like you're like saying who needs you're basically doing triage at, like seeing yeah, you need to go over there. You're not actually as bad as you think. You're just trying to get out of work. Uh
Respect the hustle, but today's not the day.
yeah, you don't need people like clogging up the resources that are there. Um I will say on that one, you probably misdiagnose someone as thinking they're just faking.
They take two
Like, oh,
steps and
that's just tomato sauce. They take 2 steps away and like stumble over, and the doctor rushes out, and they actually did need help.
sorry.
Good
Yeah,
job.
you didn't like do any damage to them,
It's
but
not my fault. Their blood was really viscous, okay?
it's been congealing all night. Um, you would as you the two of you go around the city, you would also find that the other portals that had opened, there was damage um on the street that Morgan's blacksmith is on. Um, on a street that includes several temples up in the North Ward where it meets the City of the Dead. We'll call it there. And what am I missing here? Market. Uh, um, the courtyard of the Lord's Palace. Though the damage there seems much smaller. And outside the Field of Triumph and the front of the building. I think that's all 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, that's all 12. And let me. Where's Palace? That should be on map layer. That should be on map layer. Yeah. Is there. So, come, you sell your fish and take the wagon back up the street. Uh, getting it to Morgan at the tavern. I'll say, Rebecca, as you're walking to another tent, just the strong smell of fish hits you, and you turn around and you see Cunk pushing a wagon.
Prestidigitation to make it smell better. I'd shout out to him. Do you really have to take the high road?
Yes, I do.
Oh my god.
It's the quickest way. You really want him stinking up the residential streets?
Yes! There's not people getting treated for injuries there.
Well, too bad.
You know. You didn't think about that.
Maybe I should have picked
Uh,
chaotic instead of lawful.
You're not breaking any laws that you know of.
Fair enough.
As Rebecca realizes, he's not a member of a guild.
Oh, the fishing guild's not going to be happy.
Yeah, the Fishmongers Fellowship.
Well, I doubt that's the most of their worries right now, especially since a lot of buildings are destroyed.
Right, yeah. If there was a time you could get away with going around the guilds of Waterdeep, it's probably right now. Um, but yeah, as you turn around from your last patient and begin making your way back up to Troll Skull or wherever you're going after you're done helping people, um, you turn around and you see a hooded hobbit or halfling be the one that's up there to see you next. However, you also notice that everything else around you has frozen.
Like in time, or like frozen as in coated in ice?
No, that was a few months
Like
ago.
in time. In time.
Okay.
Yeah. Rebecca, you would recognize this figure.
Brenda Barrows, how's it going?
Hmm. Better than it is here, I suppose.
Waterdeep will get through it. They've suffered worse attacks, but this definitely is probably the worst one in recent memory, at least.
That's probably fair to say. That tablet you brought to me was quite enlightening.
Well, glad to have helped with that.
I had an idea for how I might repay you.
I'm listening.
There is one that I could tell you where to go to, who does fortune readings with a very powerful set of cards. A very potent set. These readings are as accurate as any. Will that interest you, or would you like to hold on to the favor?
I think this is something I need to discuss with Morgan, at least.
Of course.
What did you say?
Of course.
Of course. Okay, I heard 2 words. I'm like, what? Uh, Yeah, I definitely need to talk to him about it because I'm not going to make the executive decision to be like, oh, we're getting our fortunes read from a very accurate fortune teller.
Well, it's not so much the fortune teller that makes it accurate, but the power of the deck. The more powerful a deck of cards you do fortunes with, of course, the more correct they are.
Now, see, I want to call him Brandy, but he's a god, and I don't want to get smited.
Even Rebecca's blase regards of them, I don't think would go that far.
Yeah, Brandabaros, I've heard some tales of like a deck of lots of things that can totally screw up your life. We're not talking about a deck like that, right?
And if we were, which I'm not saying we are, that only happens if you draw from the deck. You can tell fortunes with it just fine.
That's interesting.
Though that would indeed be a very powerful deck to use for fortune telling.
All right.
Still, once you talk with your compatriots, just squeeze this when you wish to summon me again. And he tosses you what looks like an inflated pink bladder of some sort.
So
Whoopee
whoopee
cushion.
cushion.
Brandy's whoopee. All right, that's Brandy's whoopee is in my inventory now.
Wow. And as you look down at why he just trying to figure out why he just tossed you a bladder, you look back up and people are moving around again, and he is gone. You're also about 2 steps behind where you were just standing, back to where you were when you first noticed him.
Oh. Was that a vision or was that real?
The bladder is still in your hand.
It was. Maybe it was a vision, but he teleported that into my hand. I don't know. That's something to think about later. My head hurts from that.
It's deity shit. At least he didn't make you collapse to the floor this time
Yep.
with a letter. Yeah. So then would you be making your way back to Troll Skull? Or do you need to find an open shop or something?
I'll go back to Troskull and then if Orm's still there, help him give him the bead red potion pulsing, the wand of something, the 3 magic daggers, the orb, the orange potion, and I think the clear sapphire was magical.
Your sapphire.
It might have been just the gem.
If it was one of the gems that you collected in the maze, it was not magical.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Right. But yeah, I'll give him the red pulsing potion, the wand of something, magic daggers, the 3 magic daggers, the orb, and the orange potion.
Okay. And so since we said that Cunk would be being caught up, I don't know, yeah. Beyond what was explained to you when you were joining Amorhen,
Okay.
there is a very real threat of the cult of the dragon trying to resummon the goddess of evil dragons.
Mm.
Um, Rebecca had happened upon a prophecy some time ago and had been looking into it. Uh, the blue mask you took yesterday is something important to do with summoning him. Y'all aren't entirely sure what. The hope from the council was that by getting one of them, more could be understood about that. And yeah, basically there's about 7 months until either the world ends or it's saved. One of the two.
Mm. Okay.
Um, and then I don't know if there's anything else you want to fill in on, Beck, while I find what those magic items were.
Uh, yeah, Bahamut and his 7 golden great worms are missing.
Which
Uh,
Bahamut is the god of good dragons.
Okay.
and I'm trying to think anything relevant. No, not that I can really think of.
Oh, the clear sapphire is a magic item.
Oh,
Okay. The potion, the clear potion with the red bead that grows to fill the bottle and then disappears before growing to fill the bottle is a potion of growth.
growth. Okay. Whatever that does.
It functions as an enlarge spell.
I'll pass that to Morgan.
Remember that for when he gets back.
Yeah, I'll leave it on my sheet for now.
Um, a clear sapphire is an elemental gem, specifically for air elementals. You can use your action to break it, in which it will summon an air elemental, as if you had cast the spell Conjure Elemental.
Air or water? It's sapphire.
Air.
Air. Okay. I associate sapphire with water because of
The water
Pokemon.
one would be a emerald.
Just swap those.
I mean, it's a clear sapphire,
Yeah.
as
I
in it's not.
suppose.
And an emerald is green, so it wouldn't be air either. I don't
I mean, Rayquaza's green,
know.
but whatever.
Yeah. Um. What else?
The orb, orange potion, and 3
The
magic
orb.
daggers, and a wand of something.
Okay. The orb is a drift globe, which is
Oh,
like
another one of
a
these.
a floating source of light.
Yeah, gave one to
Uh,
Zarin.
I think Zarin had a cracked one with a crack in it. Um, the orange potion is a potion of fire breath.
Something to give to Andromeda at some point.
Uh, all 3 daggers are +1 daggers.
Nice. I will keep one and give the other two to Cunk.
Mm,
So you get 2 plus 1
So
daggers.
Cunk, you can add +1 daggers to your sheet.
okay.
And the wand is a wand of fear with 3 charges remaining.
Wand of Fear. Okay.
Which oh no, it's a wand of fear. Hold on, it's a wand of fear with 3 charges instead of 7 charges.
Ah.
Because it still regains charges. That's weird. Um. Well, you can either use it to cast the command spell for 1 charge, or a cone of fear for 2 charges. It does require attunement. The cone of fear is 60 foot, DC 15 Wisdom save, or become frightened of you. Every creature in the cone makes the save. Becomes frightened for 1 minute. This is the type of frightened that it has to move as far away from you as it can on its turn.
Hmm.
And it also cannot take reactions while frightened.
I'll just hang on to that, but I don't think I'll attune to it.
For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. Repeats the saving throw at the end of its turn. Actually, the best kind of fear. They don't get to attack. They don't get to use their action to attack before moving. They have to dash or escape a grapple. And no reactions.
Okay.
And the command can only do flee or grovel.
Yep. And I think that was everything on the list you had said.
Yes.
Okay, since I already have 2 daggers in my inventory, can I just say I replace them with the new ones and then just add the +1?
You can. You can also. The only reason I would think not do that is in case you have to throw more than 2 daggers for some reason.
Yeah, just drag 2 plus 1 daggers onto your sheet. It's fine. Because you never know. It's always good to have multiple daggers.
Where do I do that?
If you in the top right, there's a symbol that looks like 3 books.
Okay.
The compendium. You can just search. I think dagger. It's either dagger +1. Yeah, dagger +1.
No
All right.
results found.
Okay, if you search dagger +1 shows up. But apparently you can't search dagger +1.
Yeah, I
It's
see
weird.
that now.
And then you can just literally drag it to your sheet and it should add it. Unless your
Okay.
sheet is in pop-out mode, in which case you cry.
It isn't currently. The 2. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, daggers are more important to keep track of, like, actually how many, because you can throw them as well instead of just being melee.
Okay.
You have 2 silver daggers and a +1 dagger now.
And then would Cunk want to be doing like any shopping around town or anything? Does Cunk have anything he needs to buy?
Maybe look for a bow with a larger modifier.
You have a +1 right now, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And also buy a second quiver.
okay. So a +2 bow is expensive
Okay,
to
fair
buy.
enough.
You can buy ammunition with a bonus.
Just normal arrows are fine.
Okay. Like you can get +1 arrows, which are good until once they hit something, they lose that enchantment, which is why they're cheaper. Um, you can buy a fancy magic quiver for 800 gold.
I could.
Um, and that is a common enough item that you can find it in the city. Um, you'd find, while looking for quiver and magic weapons, a magic quiver that has 3 compartments, and they tell you that one of the compartments can hold up to 60 arrows, bolts, and that kind of stuff. The middle one can hold uh, up to 18 javelins, and the longest one can hold up to 6 long objects, such as bows, quarterstaffs, or spears.
But no daggers.
Yeah, I'll get the
Um,
quiver. I'll
okay.
I'll trade out the quiver. Though I know it'll barely cut down on the price.
Looks like that, and that wasn't an embed fill. Let's go.
Hey.
Okay. A quiver. A quiver is worth a whole 1 gold.
Ooh, so instead of
A standard
800,
quiver.
799.
Yeah. Yeah.
1389 minus 799 equals 590.
So you can put a quiver of Alana on your sheet. You might be able to drag that too. I don't know if I have. I do not have that book.
Yeah, all I saw when searching was a quiver and efficient quiver, and the efficient quiver kind of matched up with what you were saying.
It might be the same as that. And before Peck asks, yes, that book is the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I do not have it on Roll20.
Yeah, the SRD is efficient quiver.
Yeah, it's the same as the efficient quiver.
Okay,
You can
so I'll
drag that
just,
over and just change the name.
yeah, that's what I was gonna do. So, efficient quiver, delete old quiver. I'll just put the weight at
It's because
2
Alana is
pounds.
a Greyhawk deity.
Okay. So you said it can hold 60?
Yeah, up to 60 arrows, bolts, or similar objects in the 1 compartment. And then 18 javelins or similar objects. That'd be like javelins or spears. Oh no, spears is in the long one. I
Well,
don't know what's similar to a javelin.
I'll also buy another 20 arrows, so that's 1 more gold to remove.
Okay.
That would be 48 arrows in total. I think that'd be it for me.
All right.
Just curious, how much was a +2 short bow?
A +2 weapon +2 is 11,000 gold.
Ooh, okay.
It's one that you more need to find than
Yeah, fair enough.
several of us found out on trying to buy magic items in Wee Wee Wednesday.
60,000. Oh my god. And that's with
What
the
were you even trying
discount.
to buy back?
The manual quickness.
Yeah. Well, that's very rare. Yeah, that kind of checks. Yeah. Yep. The manuals are 120,000 gold. Yep. Does Rebecca have anything else she'd want to do before going and meeting the Open Lord?
I will sell the 11 pearls I have.
Okay.
Because we got 12 from the maze. We left one behind thinking it was necessary. We have 11 others.
Oh, those pearls. Yep. Um. Okay. Go ahead and make me an investigation check. Trying to find where you can get the best price.
I'll add a d6 to that. Okay, 17.
Okay. As you wander around, the reduced options to normal, as many places are not open today. And many gem stalls were destroyed in the market. So you're looking more for like gem stores.
Yeah.
Um, you do find that upon looking at them again, they don't quite look quite as lustrous as they did in the maze.
Mm.
They're still valuable to an extent, but not as much as you originally thought.
Even a little prestidigitation, polishing.
It's not lustrous might be the wrong word. It's not like a dirtiness. It's like the quality seemed to have been enhanced by whatever was going on in the maze.
I see.
That said, they are still worth some money. And the stall you find, the gnome behind the counter will offer you 400 gold for the set.
That's probably the best I'm going to get for these magically enhanced pearls that are no longer enhanced.
Oh. once Becca's done, I was curious if I could upgrade my armor too.
What is your armor currently?
It would I would be changing from leather armor to ideally studded leather armor.
Yeah, especially if you're getting like standard armor, that's not a problem.
Yeah, that's just
I think studded
45
leather is
gold.
45 gold.
Yeah, I was just looking
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, you can definitely find a shop that'll sell it to you at market price of 45 gold.
Okay.
I'd say you can also, if you wish, because of the buying the quiver, you could go and buy like some javelins for the middle compartment if you wish. If you want to
Not
spend
right
money
now.
on that. Okay.
Sneak attack on a javelin throw. Let's go.
Yeah, javelins
Ranged.
are ranged, yeah. Are they? No, javelins are melee weapons.
But you can throw them.
They have the thrown property. You can also use them as a melee weapon. Oh, it is a ranged attack, you're right. Yeah.
Yay, one more armor class.
Yeah, that's a whole number they can't roll on the die to hit you.
Worth the 45 gold.
What does that bring your AC to now?
17.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what my AC would be if it wasn't for my glamored studded leather.
Your birthday present. Oh no, that wasn't the birthday present, was it?
It was one of the birthday presents.
Pleasant.
Yeah, that's either Tia or Morgan
That
got
was
that.
Morgan's.
They
Tia's.
both got
Tia was
okay.
an actual dress or whatever.
Oh, the outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The very fancy outfit. Okay. As midday approaches, um the group of you and probably Oirin because he's here, and the man just said the lady wanted to see your group. Or the Open Lord, not the Open Lady. Open Lord, Lady Laryl Silverhand. So the group of you will make your way down there. And let's take a 10-minute break, because I'm really hoping Dylan's back for the part of the meeting.
Yeah, let's yell at him.
Ping you.
I'm gonna pin him too.
I messaged him to see. I messaged him to see if he had an ETA. He had told me earlier he thought he wouldn't be here until 10. So it's still before when he thought he wouldn't be here till. Yeah, I'm gonna run the rest.
I'm gonna get a drink, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
I am back. Pierce, I'm the only one back.
I'm back.
I'm back.
So true.
Why is Discord not recognizing my mic? There it is.
Dylan died sad.
Was this so true about the Dylan died thing, Morgan?
Yeah.
How did you notice the second I did it?
I have a second monitor. I saw it at the corner of my eye.
See, I thought you were saying
that's-
so true to the silence.
I mean, that would be on brand.
It would be.
I guess I gotta start saying that now.
It's at random moments of silence.
Oh, Bean got really quiet.
He was abducted.
Yeah. I was abducted by the same people that got Dylan.
Damn, I maxed you out in Discord and you're still as quiet.
Let me see if my mic's
Just wait until Bean comes back and blow out your fucking eardrums.
I know. Figuring out the microphone will give Dylan enough time to get in here.
I don't know. My settings didn't change.
You sound normal now.
Yeah.
I changed nothing. Oh, he's on his mobile device. He's typing.
He's on his way home. So it's gonna be another like half hour, probably.
What's the driving time there?
Since it's New York, probably bad. Can't believe you just disappoint Yoda like that. I don't think he has his license, so it won't be him driving. It's so true. Hold on, I got a good emote for that. There you go.
Well, do I do a weird time warp thing and cause a paradox, Beck? Or do you know Morgan enough to decide how he's going to react to some things?
The thing is, I don't know what's going to be in the meeting.
Okay, bring back old Morgan. We need him too.
Like it entirely depends on what the meeting has.
Well, you know that there is that someone with the Open Lord's voice said in Morgan's ear that they would talk about the mask later. So that's a safe bet. If it really was the Open Lord talking to you and Morgan.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it'll be okay.
And then, they're supposed to be testing out a cure today. Like, it's weird because we can't just time warp to the Daggerford stuff because that's also Morgan's stuff because that's where his wife is.
Yep. That's like the entire reason why we're going to Daggerford.
And y'all haven't talked about what's next. Besides, like, Faye is on the table.
Oh yeah, Faye. We gotta go. I thought you said Faye. I'm like, what? Why would we go into the Feywild?
Faye's back on the menu, boys.
Like, yeah, I have plane shift now, but there's no tuning fork to the Feywild.
That you know of.
Oh, here. Let me ask him this.
Uh-oh,
Don't worry,
soccer
soccer
typing.
soccer has this. Gonna take this as a okay. He says yes. So if when in doubt, Beck, we'll just pause the session and you DM Dylan.
Yep.
Yeah. The four of you. Let me drop a gnome.
Not the gnome.
go in through the main gate. You see the signs of battle scars, of battle and scarring in the stone, uh, in the courtyard and on the gate to the palace.
I'll buff out. I'll buff out. Fabricate can fix that.
Rebecca has fabricate.
I could cast it with a spell scroll because it's a wizard spell.
It is, yeah. Um, Byron did not prepare fabricate today. That might have been smart, after a battle. I should have changed that.
I'll come back tomorrow to fix that.
I'll be back. Oh yeah, I'll be back.
Honestly, I think the keep just needed a new coat of paint.
I mean, Keep is. I was gonna say older than any of you, but I think that only means anything for Oirin. The rest of you are
Fairly young.
sweet summer children.
Yep.
Sweet summer children on a time scale. But it is older than Oirin too. You go into the palace proper and are nodded in by a couple city guards, as well as you would see many figures that are more familiar with you. Not so much you with them, but they've seen you in here before. Looking questioningly at yet another new face. But they see Morgan just like look over at them, and then they go about their business. You are led upstairs and to a little sitting area of sorts, and asked to wait there until you can be seen by the Open Lord. A few minutes would pass before the door opens, and there you would see Rishi, council members, that person, the person with silver hair, Open Lord Lady Laryl Silverhand. I'm glad you could make it. Please come in. And then looking at the three of you, and then looking over at Cunk.
The man with the
Is-
nose so long that you need like one of those fucking ribbons tied to it so you know where the end of it is.
Yeah, in small closets, he has to hang a tennis ball from a rope just to make sure he doesn't go too far and hit his nose. Is he with you?
He helped recover the mask and has a bone to pick with the cult, so you'll be sticking around for a bit.
Very well. And she'll walk back into the room, leave the door open for the four of you. By the time you enter, she is already back sitting in the tall chair behind the desk. But there are several other chairs on the opposite side of the desk. And you would see her sitting there, just not really glaring, but staring at Morgan.
Could I gauge her current mood?
Sure, make an insight check.
She's a politician, so this should be fairly difficult. 19, not bad.
She is hard to reach. I mean, so yesterday you showed back up in town. We're talking to the Harpers when all of a sudden you heard in your head, "Tell me what?" in her voice. And then later Morgan looked a bit cowed as he was talking about to you about why he had given away the mask. And he heard in his head,
We'll talk about
"We'll
this.
talk about this later." Yeah, we'll talk about this later. You have never had any reason to. She's never shown any signs of that kind of magic. Or really, any kinds of magic.
I mean, she's one of Mistress
But it sounded like her
Chosen,
voice.
so-
Well, she's named after one of Mistress Chosen.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be out of game knowledge. That her being
Chosen.
the general pop. Yeah, the general populace thinks she's named after the Queen of Stormnanter, Laeral Silverhand. So like maybe it descended or something, but that was like 500 years ago.
Out of game, they're the same person.
Yeah. Kind of like how Rebecca wasn't sure Elminster was real. And from your reaction to Morgan, probably still isn't convinced that was him.
Yeah.
But yes. And she'll gesture at the seats. As Beck's sister plays a didgeridoo.
I was
It's
wondering
a
what the hell
vacuum
that
cleaner.
noise.
It very much came through as a didgeridoo on my end.
Yeah, they're cleaning up the pantry, which is right above the office. So
Yeah. I'll say from that inside check, you can't read her mood towards this meeting and towards Morgan. You can't tell. It looks like she's hasn't had much time, much personal time in the last day or so. Seems like she's been running kind of busy since the attack happened, probably. But I mean, you'd also she is the figurehead of the city as the Open Lord, so probably has had a lot of stuff to do with the city under attack. You and Morgan would also notice she's very much has the staff being held next to her now instead of being left elsewhere.
yeah, that's probably the better play. Though, even then, be a good idea to have that staff in a more secure location.
Yeah, probably have it surrounded by guards or something. So, I take it from the excitement of yesterday that you did indeed manage to get a hold of the mask.
Yep, we had it. We had it in our possession. And managed to get it away, and then, the city was attacked.
You say had.
Yeah, the um. Well, someone thought it was a great idea to hand the mask over to someone far more capable of defending it than us after we were badly injured from fighting an ancient red. Um, so someone gave it to the captain of the city guard, or is it watch?
Guard,
Guard.
captain of the army.
Yeah, captain of the city.
Actually, warden. Warden of Waterdeep is the proper
yeah,
title. Because captain is there's many captains.
Yeah, the warden of Waterdeep, and mythical figure Elminster. If that actually was Elminster, I'm not 100% certain because I thought he was a
So you
children's story.
gave it away to someone you're not sure is actually who they said they were.
I mean, I'm not convinced. I don't know. I think Morgan was. I look at him. Yeah, he gave me his business card. Probably would pull that out.
She'd stop staring at Morgan for a minute. Apologies, I failed to introduce myself. Lady Laryl Silverhand, Open Lord of Waterdeep. And she'd reach out a hand to you, Cunk.
Hello.
Cunk Fisherman, newest member. Well, not member. Don't know yet. But newest ally of ours.
Luckily, you made the right call this time. And she'll pull out the blue mask.
Oh, man. Okay.
I knew it was
See,
Elminster.
Rebecca? I told you it was him.
Yeah, but what if it wasn't? I masked of many faces into Elminster.
Yeah, well, who else could do what that guy did?
Your mask of many faces does not go off inside this office.
I am still me. Oh, well, that kind of ruins my point, but I was going to mask of many faces into Elminster. So, anyone could look like a fucking hobo from a tropical island.
Anyone can look like anybody else, but can they do the same things as that person?
Yeah, he was concentrating on 2 spells at once, which I thought was impossible.
But also, the Elminster from the stories you heard, Rebecca, could have just snapped his fingers, and all the invaders would have been gone or turned into frogs.
Yeah.
So definitely did more than you would have expected for a regular person.
But not as much as the legends foretold.
Yeah, not as the legends foretold. Yes, we called in a few favors and were able to get the great Elminster of Shadowdale to agree to be warden of the city for a while. Since our last one met an unfortunate end.
Do I know what she's talking about?
The unfortunate end, or
Who and what end they had?
let me see here. Go ahead and make a general history check.
14, not bad. Probably won't get it.
You know that the previous unless there was one in between you don't know about. The last one you knew about at the would have been in 2 years ago. You knew that the one then was called a Zender Draith.
Zender Drave. Ezender, okay.
But beyond that, you're unsure. You're not aware of what end came and all that. You hadn't been spending a ton of time
In
within the
Waterdeep.
city
Yeah.
until recently.
Yeah, I was probably more up to date on Baldur's Gate politics.
Yes. And she will pass the mask back across the table to you, Rebecca.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Do try to keep a better handle on this, unless you're wanting us to secure it here within the palace until the next meeting. Though I'd suggest having the Watchful Order try to do research on it,
That
see what can
was,
be found out. Them or the Harpers.
had one of the Harpers identified it, but probably a good idea to give it to the Watchful Order, since, well, we've been bringing the cultists we've captured to them. So,
No, you've been bringing the cultists to the palace.
oh, the palace,
and you're not sure where they've been keeping them.
Okay, yeah. I think I trust the Harpers more. So yeah, I'll give it to the Harpers. Have them research it.
Okay. Yeah, and so the identify happened, but researching as to like what purpose it might serve in the summoning and
Yeah,
what can be gleaned about the summoning from it.
the Harpers might be better at doing that.
I would request that well, it was certainly a great feat that you managed to acquire the mask. If danger is coming, try to keep it away from the city.
Uh,
Escape
yeah.
to somewhere else if possible.
Well,
At least until warning can be given.
yeah. Thing is, with that, I think even if we did escape somewhere else, they would have attacked the city anyways. Though probably not with as much force as they did. But they definitely would have tried to have their dragons get in. And if the red one was
That
there,
is
it definitely would have made it through.
that is almost certainly true, as many cities up and down the Sword Coast and into interior Faerun were attacked yesterday. Though none of the others had the backing of powerful red wizards and the portals that opened up across the city.
It
Again, I understand that you did what you thought best, but it is my job to work for the city's protection.
yeah,
I hope you understand that.
that is very understandable, and just at least my thought process of it was already they destroyed an entire village wanting us to give back the mask. And we thought getting it to the safest place as quickly as possible would be the best idea.
I'll say she's not like scolding you about what you did, but like with her position, she kind of has to ask you to try to keep stuff like that away from the city.
Yeah, yeah.
And you, what is this axe to grind with the cult that was spoken of? She'll turn to you, Cunk.
Well, first, they stole my money.
So they've earned an enemy for life.
And second, they started attacking me for no reason. Well, no reason apparent to me.
Well, I suppose any reason is as good as the next. That's it. You're joking about that enemy for life, Beck? You you still haven't gotten over your money being disintegrated.
That's true. Even though I have far more money now than I did then, but still, I'd have more if I still had it.
Francesco lost everything in that hallway. Well, on that news, I have some good news for you, and what is probably some, I can only imagine, is unwelcome news to an extent. We have tried um the cure on the dwarven worm speaker, and it looks promising. Morgan would let out a sigh of relief at this part, as Rebecca did at the mention of Elminster being who he said he was.
I get the feeling there's a but coming.
Well, not about the cure. The cure does seem quite effective. We'll wait a couple days to make sure there's no extra effects before we begin using it on the other prisoners and your wife. And she looks to Morgan. However, I do feel the need to let you know that that wasn't the only reason I sent you after the runes fragments.
Wait, that was you that ordered the mission?
You knew that.
I thought it was just
Gillester had said that he had been sent by. You don't know that. Well, he said that he had been sent by the Open Lord.
I don't remember him saying open lord. I just remember him being like very, it's like, yeah, someone important. Like it was like he was being very secretive of it.
No, because when y'all got back from Undermountain, Morgan, when the ship was being inspected by like all the organizations, Morgan went up to one of um the city watch and started to say that he had the things that the Open Lord had sent you after, and you had to go over there and shush him because it was you weren't supposed to tell who it was for.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, yep. I mean, that was months ago. So.
Yes. It was indeed a necessary component for the cure that had been devised, but not the only reason for its usefulness.
What's the other reason?
Okay. Um, I can't go into full details about it until it has come to fruition. But it is, um, it is to be used for something else of gathering power for the things to come, for the events to come.
Hmm. I already have a few suspicions what that could be, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
So Dylan seeing what Morgan's reaction would be to this.
If I know Morgan, it'd probably be like, oh, interesting, but like, that's more of a secondary thing to his wife being cured. That's my guess.
Can't believe Dylan says Morgan's going to start a brawl in the middle of the office.
He's attacking the open lord, lunging across the desk and starts beating the shit out of her. Only he wouldn't even get halfway across the
Stunning
desk
strike,
before he's
stunning strike.
disintegrated. I don't think he'd be able to rise out of his chair fast enough before he's disintegrated.
Elminster comes out of the shadows. Ah, ah, ah. No, you really think the Open Lord has Disintegrate? That's like a 7th level spell?
Yeah,
6th?
7th.
Now the Black Staff can cast that kind of magic. That's 6th, yeah.
Oh, it's 6? I thought it was 7th.
It increases by 3d6
Yeah,
per
it's one of
level
the
when
best
you
scaling
upcast it.
spells.
Oh, he's typing back now. Okay. Beck, do you have access to Morgan's sheet currently?
No, because you have to give me access to it.
Okay. Beck, assume direct control and go ahead and make a deception check, I guess.
A what check?
Deception.
Deception. Okay.
You'd see that he looks like he's trying to hide the fact that he's pretty peeved about this, and he's not hiding it very well.
Hmm.
But she won't mention anything about it. Um. So, are your next plans still to go to Thay?
I mean, especially after the attack, seeing so many red wizards among their number would be a good getting an explanation for that and potentially some assistance with it in the future would be good. Though,
I mean, the explanation was given
oh, I mean,
by the widows that came.
I don't, I mean, it's slightly different. Like, never mind. I meant it a different way. I can't quite put my finger on how I meant it.
Yeah. Um, like a basic recap of that above board was that they're basically a sect of renegade red wizards that don't like Saztam
I mean, a lot of
and
people don't like Zastan.
are working with the cult. Are working with the cult to further whatever aims they have of being against Saztam. Since it's not very safe to be in Thay and openly against Saztam. The red wizard that came to the meeting had said that they Saztam wants the renegades dead, and they would, if the offer seems to be something along the lines of, "You find the renegades, they'll take care of them, so they're not your problem anymore."
Okay. I mean, if we can get rid of these red wizards support for the cult in some way, that will definitely hurt their capabilities.
Okay. Um. Well then, I will when you're ready to head that way. Um. Send a message back to the council, and I, along with a couple others, have information on Thay that would prove useful, we believe. I think at the meeting it was like uh, fuck. At the meeting it was her, Ramalia, and Ontharfroom had information for you about Thay,
Yeah.
that they told you to come to them.
We'll probably go. Not today. Probably not tomorrow, because tomorrow we can get the information on Thay. So probably the day after tomorrow, unless something comes up that's somehow more urgent.
Very well. All right. And unless anyone has questions for the Open Lord.
Who? I do have a question about some of those spellcasters that fought alongside us. Who were those masked figures? Well, not masks, shrouded figures.
I'm unsure of who fought along in the battle with you. There was many spellcasters throughout the city. The Black Staff, I would imagine, and many of her pupils. Um, Given that extra damage was not done, I think she listened to me and did not mobilize Force Grey, but there are many other mages within the Black Staff Tower. Um, and then the city does not have much of a shortage of adventurers that pass through, or ones that have retired here.
Yeah, but these
Um,
these were no ordinary adventurers. They they had something shrouding their face. They wore gray, white cloaks. Um, and they
it was
cast
a brown cloak, a gray cloak, and a white cloak. Yeah.
yeah, different colored cloaks, brown, white, and gray. Um, one seemed very lightning bolt happy, and wasn't too concerned with hitting Morgan if he just happened to be in the way. Um, and they were casting magic that was some spells I've never seen before.
Such as?
This weird aura buff they gave themselves that uh, was able to paralyze the ancient red that we were fighting. When they were attacking it.
I've personally never heard of any kind of spell that would do something like that. Um, I'm assuming one of the casters was um the new warden of Waterdeep,
Oh, he was
since
there.
you
He
handed
wasn't
the
in
mask over to him.
he wasn't in the skies. He was very much like he just came off of vacation.
Yes, he said he had been in a place called Hawaii.
Hawaii. He did say he was in a different sphere. So it's probably no place in realm space.
I would imagine not. But no, I've never heard of a spell that puts out an aura of paralyzation. I mean, there's such magics that stop time, but it's not really paralyzing. And I don't think you'd notice it happening.
I think I've witnessed such magic like that before, but again, like you said, not directly because you kind of can't notice something that isn't happening for you.
Kind of just notice the aftermath.
Yeah, I've
When
seen a guy move from one side of the room and a little black hole go from one side of the room to the other in a blink of an eye, and
then the delayed black fireball explodes underneath you that wasn't there before.
yeah,
You know,
and a god just stopping time. So you know,
as for the identities, I'm assuming if they had such uh, shrouded figures, as you say, they didn't wish to be identified. But I can't begin to guess who they were.
insight check. I suspect she knows.
I'm actually gonna
Well, I mean, she told you
insight
who
check
two of
too.
them were, but not the masked ones. She named the Black Staff, who you recognize, and Elminster, who you now know was Elminster.
Yeah, but
But yeah, you can roll
I'm
roll
wondering if
insight.
she's lying about the shrouded individuals. That's not a great roll. She probably has like a
I
30
feel it.
modifier to her deception.
I feel like Morgan is. Well, she's a politician. Of course she does.
Well, yeah, Morgan probably would make an
No,
insight check.
Morgan's a bit distracted with the
Oh,
news about the cure and his wife, and
I guess that's true.
that he was correct, and he's trying not to rub it too much in your face right now in front of the open lord. Okay. She will make either a persuasion or a deception check. Wouldn't you like to know which? Let's see here.
It's probably
Cunk, she seems to be telling the truth.
Okay.
Rebecca, she doesn't seem like she's lying about anything. It seems like she might have more ideas about other powerful mages within the city, but you don't get the idea that she's necessarily lying
I see.
about who.
But she suspects who it could be.
She has suspects, would be the best way to say it. Not that like she'd probably have more than 3, but you're not positive. Kind of hard to read, but she does seem to have some level of holdback, but not lies. Um, and were you just inciting about that, or were you inciting about the spell with the paralyzation as well?
Um, no, because I described the spell very poorly.
Okay, I think Morgan will pipe up. Yeah, and one of them turned him into a little statue, the dragon into a statue for a bit, but then he came back.
Yeah, Red Wizard dispelled. I think that was imprisonment. But that's like a. That's magic well beyond me.
And then one of them flew up and absorbed a lightning bolt. It was weird.
No, that's a different spell.
No,
Oh,
like one of them sucked up a lightning bolt that was going to hit Morgan for a bunch of damage
I know.
and healed.
I was making a joke.
Oh,
I was making a joke out of character. In character,
oh,
Rebecca
absorb
had a
elements.
moment of like, no, that's a different spell. Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, that's right.
Um,
I could also technically cast imprisonment from a spell scroll.
oh, second. Uh, 21, 18, and Beck as Morgan. When he's saying that about the lightning bolt, he would see something flicker across her face like recognition for just a split second.
Okay.
Wait, on that roll? Actually, no, on that roll, I think all three of you do. Wait, Rebecca passive is a 18?
It's a 17.
Okay. Yeah, all three of you do.
My passive perception's an 18.
Insight.
Yeah. Okay. Make an insight check.
Okay. Where did it go? There it is. Of course.
Yeah, your passive insight's a 12.
You can make one as well. Beck is what I was,
Oh.
since you
Passive's
both saw it.
better.
Well, insight is one that you take the passive as a floor. And things like this. And then give me a Morgan one. His floor is a 21.
Yep.
Okay, let's. She knows something about lightning being absorbed to heal someone.
Is that just Morgan, or is that me and Morgan?
That is. It's Rebecca and Morgan. Rebecca barely gets it. Morgan is pretty sure she knows. Like Rebecca could go either way on if it's she's heard stories or she knows about it. But Morgan gets that she knows about something like that.
Yeah, and would that individual absorb that light? Didn't she say to the guy who fired it, like, don't lose all your progress? Like he was like on some, I don't know, friendly fire anonymous rehabilitation program or something.
Monk Killers Anonymous.
Yeah. Like he was going through like a 12-step program on like not hurting allies or something.
No, Rebecca, it's a oh no. There's 9 steps, Rebecca.
Yeah, in that drink from hell you have. I'm talking about rehab.
Okay. Without seeing the Open Lord move her hand, you hear a lock click on the door behind you. And a circle would begin glowing around the desk and where you are sitting. Rebecca
Zone of truth.
and Morgan would recognize this as a zone of truth.
Yeah.
You can choose to fail to save if you wish. Cunk, there's a circle and something's trying to get into your mind. You can either let it happen or make a wisdom check. You would not know what this spell is.
Would that be a wisdom save?
Wisdom save, yes, sorry.
Uh,
Morgan is going to let it happen.
I'll let it. I'll be like, oh, fine, whatever. Just let it happen.
Cunk fails.
Of course.
Her DC's probably 30.
It's not necessarily her DC. Because Zone of Truth takes a bit of time to cast, I believe. No, it is one action. You didn't see her cast a spell, so you're not sure if she is the caster or if she activated something.
Subtle spell.
I mean, in a place like this, you could easily hire someone to precast a spell that is stored or glyphs or, there's lots of things. Symbols, store spells.
What's her reaction to the door locking in the Zone of Truth?
Straight-faced.
Okay, so she's not
Politician faced.
Yeah. My fellow Waterdavians. So basically, both of you, in a Zone of Truth, you cannot tell a deliberate lie. Like if you have bad information and say something that's not true, that's not telling a lie. That's you just thought otherwise. You knew otherwise. But you cannot choose to tell a lie. Oh, it's a charisma save, if that matters. What's your charisma save modifier, Cunk?
He's a rogue, so it'd be less.
Charisma is 1.
Okay, so you still fail.
You fail even harder.
Yeah. Because I was taking the same roll instead of the 8 do a 1, so it's an 11. Forgive the what would be the word? Unusuality of this. This is a Zone of Truth. Know that if you're unfamiliar, you cannot tell a lie while inside of it. And I guess I should have had Oiron make a roll. No, Oiron's familiar. He would have chose to fail. It would be in everyone, and by everyone I don't mean just us in here. I mean the council and the safety of the Sword Coast. That this line of questioning isn't continued further as of right now. And she'd say, I chose to let the circle take effect on me. Hopefully you believe me on that.
I mean, if you failed, you're not lying. If you did resist and are lying, then I don't know. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
It should suffice to know that the any of the mages that were helping in the fight were helping in the fight, and therefore not allied with the cult. Beyond that, I am okay. Not unable, because unable is a lie. You have the ability.
I am
Um,
unwilling. Reluctant?
no. I am forbidden by oath to reveal who they were.
Understandable.
And if you want, you can insight check anything if you think that she's lying about choosing to let the circle affect her.
You know what? I'll give it a shot. Can't be low again, right? Fuck, it's low again.
She seems to be telling the truth.
Yep.
That said, if there are other questions, I will answer what I am able to.
So why did this zone of truth activate?
Um, I activated it with a button that also locked the doors and windows to prevent others from getting in here that might take advantage of there being a zone of truth within.
Okay, but why did you activate it?
Will hopefully instill trust when I say that it is in everyone's best interest that the line of questioning about the identities be dropped.
Okay, that's not how I would have gone about it, but you're the boss. Uh, is the upcoming arena battle in the Field of Triumph canceled?
I don't know if the open lord. Wow. Uh,
Rolling to see if she knows.
no, I updated the calendar. I
calendar.
forgot to move it forward today. Uh, as of currently, it is still to go on. I'm assuming that will be discussed at the next meeting of the Lords of Waterdeep.
Ooh. See, I could ask. See. There's so many questions I want to ask.
I will say that I am able to is a by oath able
Yeah.
to, not a have the ability to.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I know, but like
You're not gonna get the state
the
secrets.
the thing is like at the same time I also like this is a unique opportunity, but also like I don't want to abuse it. If you know what I'm saying.
I'll give you one you could ask that Rebecca or Morgan might think to ask. Cunk probably might think to ask it, given what he knew. Why did only one of the dragons get through?
That's yeah. How come the the Dragon Ward worked on 2 of the 3 dragons? Did the staff not properly work on the other 2?
The staff was never used on more than one of them. At the time the staff went missing, it's impossible for me to say if the staff had touched another chromatic dragon sometime in its history.
All right. Well, we just have to bear in mind
I
that
will.
there's. Oh, continue.
Zarin and who was with Zarin? Was it Tia was with Zarin?
No, it was Orm.
Oirin and Zarin. Um, they told you that they saw the staff used on 3.
Did Morgan
No,
tell
just that
us
there
that
was 3
he
figures there.
noticed what's his name, the blue dragon, be surprised that he wasn't able to get through?
I'll say he did. I'll make an executive decision on that one.
All right, because Morgan saw that Lenathon, the blue dragon, was surprised that he wasn't able to get through.
The blue dragon that's still in the field, by the way.
He just got disintegrated.
The orbital laser that's above Waterdeep just annihilated him.
Well, the Death Star has moved into position now. Um, there was an enchantment placed upon the staff that I wasn't sure if they had overcome. That, when used by someone not designated by the Open Lord, had a chance of swapping it out with a identical looking staff. Though it's only a chance, the item itself is too powerful for anything guaranteed. But given the reactions, it seems that it did indeed work after the first time.
Okay, well, we're just gonna have to be wary that a ancient red dragon is still alive and very much able to bypass the dragon ward.
He was not felled.
No, seemed to have been teleported out right before he was felled, and an illusion of his corpse was left in his place.
I'll have to make sure the new Warden of Waterdeep remembers to tell me of such things.
That's interesting because he's the one who figured out that that was an illusion.
Well, he's been out dealing with the myriad beings in the countryside since the attack began. I've only briefly spoken with him.
What's going to be done about the fields that have been poisoned?
That is something else that will have to be looked into. Luckily, the harvest season is over for now, but that will be very bad come next year.
Maybe the Emerald Enclave might have some ideas.
Perhaps.
Oh, there's a question. Oh, I really want to ask.
There's one more question I was expecting.
Oh, I'm pretty sure my question is not the one that you're expecting.
Okay. Yeah. How come you talked in my head? Like, how'd you know I was talking about you?
Oh yeah, do you have like some sort of like mass uh spell on Waterdeep that like alerts you whenever someone is saying something that you need to be hearing at that moment that you hear? Because that was kind of freaky.
No way. There's a power granted by my station that gives that ability at times.
Hmm.
Not so
Curious.
much a spell as you say, but an ability from my position.
That's interesting.
I lied. There was another question. I was expecting Cunk to ask where the best fishing was.
I can find that out on my own.
He probably already knows. The ghost fish told him.
Is fish.
I don't think I have any other questions, but I do have one question that I fully expect you not able to answer or whatever. So if either you deem it's not appropriate or either you can't answer it, it's totally fine. I'm just legitimately curious. Why was Lord Neverember outed as open lord and you took his place?
Okay. So before I answer that, Cunk, you watch as the ghost fish swims down through the ceiling and has its mouth open like it's going to bite her head,
Good.
but it just stays there, not closing its mouth.
Ow. I hope for it to bite down.
I'm guessing Morgan notices his eyes are looking up above her head.
Yeah, sure.
Her eyes are
Um,
down there, Cunk.
and I should say, because I've never actually elaborated on it, her hair is not gray; it is silver. Like
Uh,
it's not silver as in gray from age. It is like the color silver. Not that is matters much, but it's something I just realized I've never elaborated on.
I mean, I kind of suspected because she looks pretty young for someone with gray hair.
Yeah, it's like the metallic color silver. Um the Open Lord serves at the pleasure of the Lords of Waterdeep. If you lose that favor, shall we say, um they can vote to oust you and then also vote on a new candidate. Of course, that candidate is not beholden to take the position, but it is offered to them. And when it was offered to me, I accepted.
Hmm. Okay, so he just
I
lets
was
them.
not on the council when uh, Lord Neverember, no, Lord Protector Neverember was voted out. So I was not privy to that vote or the conversation of it.
Hmm.
I could tell you rumors, but do not feel comfortable with that.
Fair enough. Oh, this is probably is not your station appropriate. It probably would be better if I asked someone lower in power. But do we have to get a license from a guild for a spelljammer? Like what would that fall under? Do you have to?
You don't need a you don't need a license
Don't
to
need a
drive a
license
cuttlefish.
to try a cuttlefish. Because Elminster said something about the laws about spelljammers coming back on. So just
Well, it was brought to my attention that there were already such laws not being brought back on, but had been obsoleted by the lack of spelljammers around the Sword Coast. But yes, spelljammers by law are not permitted to fly within 7 miles of the city.
all right, I'll make sure our crew knows. So when the ship that is soon to be renamed is finished, and they go out on the mission that I have an idea for them, that they don't violate that, because I'd rather not have our very expensive and unique ship impounded.
Um, hmm, could you please tell your fish to get off of my head?
Fish?
How do you see that?
Well, I can't see much else through it right now.
It's not like I can control it.
Rebecca's just so confused.
Brooke has not mentioned his fish to you yet.
What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
The fish will swim off.
I would like to know how you can see it, though.
Another perk of my station.
I see.
Well, I guess she sees.
The ghost fish.
Yeah, you're going to have to explain this fish. Come.
She never
Later.
said ghostfish.
I didn't say anything about ghostfish. I said this fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because saying don't worry about it, that's something that very much makes me worry about it. So yeah, unless Morgan has any questions, I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out from Dylan if he has questions.
It's taking him a lot longer to get home than I thought it would, to be honest.
The only other one I half expected was someone to be like, "How did you get Elminster to be here?"
I mean, you probably could just say
Or is just writing everything down.
called it fake. Oh, okay, yeah. Now, how much about on Waterdeep has been discovered beyond what we initially found?
Um, percentage-wise, unknown. It does extend further than the walls of Waterdeep, though it begins getting weirder as you move up further away. Not much beyond Undercliff, about what would be Undercliff, um, has been explored. A fair bit of the city has been mapped, though the guard-like figures that are down there are not taking kindly to uh, the Magus, the Watch, or the Guard that have been sent down there.
Yeah, they almost killed us when we were down there. But has any other entrances and exits been discovered?
A few. Some of them have been able to be closed off. Others seem like they can't be, at least with anything that has been tried as of yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if some cultists managed to accidentally find their way down there while trying to escape. Though I don't, I don't have, I don't have high expectations on their survival.
It seems to be those that are down there seem to be waiting for the new world to be ushered in, as they claim. They didn't mind the guard and the like being down there at first until it became clear that they didn't want to stay down there with them. Um, yes, any attempts to bring those down there out were met with a much stronger showing of force from the guardians of the place. Right now, we're working on shutting the portals that lead down there, more so than rescuing at this point, since they seem to want to be down there.
Do we know where it is in relation to Waterdeep?
Yes, it was described to me as I have not been down there, personally, is down, but also somehow to the right.
Down and to the right.
Yet not east, to the right. And I said asked right relative to what? And they said just to the right.
So it's like right relative to the material plane or something. It's just ever so slightly out of phase.
That is my interpretation, though it doesn't seem as out of phase as Toriel's twin, from what has been explained.
Yeah, that was a fun adventure.
Morgan interrupts. So, did you know that let me get the name, because Morgan would remember the name. Did you know that Ryan was a Zent before she revealed herself? And that would be the assistant from the previous meeting, or Daggolt's assistant. at the previous meeting. I did not. I did think it a little unusual that Lord Neverember had brought an assistant, but an advisor, but well, not an advisor, because they all bring advisors and they're like over in the galleys.
But was sitting at the table.
But right. But I do believe him that he had no knowledge as well. He sent me a list of questions. There's that one. One that I don't know how to ask without it sounding incredibly accusatory, so I'm going to skip that one. If that was actually Elminster, that's been answered. So something else I've been wanting to know. Are y'all gonna like turn me over to when this is all over? Uh, and I think he would pull out his wanted poster at that point.
I know I would.
I mean, it would be a good way to get funding if we could break him out. So we still need him.
From what I was told, that won't be necessary. And this was going to wait until the um, others that are going to meet with you for information about they, but some strings were pulled by the Lord's Alliance, and your name has been cleared. Apparently, there was just a. Apparently, there was someone, uh, an imposter disguised as you that did these things.
Morgan is very much not your legal counsel. I would advise you to not say anything else about that. Ever.
Oh, you said you're not his legal counsel?
Yeah. I can't lie. Do you have any questions for us?
Um,
The gears are moving in his head.
yeah. So this one more directed just at Rebecca. Given your, shall we say, varied history, where do your allegiances lie?
Uh,
Don't answer if you feel you shouldn't.
it doesn't. I don't. How to phrase this? Like I'm trying to think out of character, like how.
Yeah, that's my struggle when you ask the open lord questions.
But not like not in terms of avoiding lying. I'm just like it's not really something I've thought about before. I mean, to some
Like,
degree,
are you still just out for number one?
yeah. To some degree, I'm, you know, concerned about my own well-being and like looking out for myself and that. But at the same time, it's very much not about me. Um, and overall, I'd say my allegiances lie with the forces of good.
She looks like she likes that answer.
Yeah, I'm not beholden to one power or another as long as as long as it's for the benefit of everyone.
Is that true? That you're not beholden to one power?
I mean,
That is an interesting question.
technically, no, because I am sort of forced to work for Bahamut, but like as also at the same time, I would go against what my patron would want if it's for what I believe to be good.
Even though that violates the first part of being out for number one, since that would mean your death. Since they're the ones, since Bahamut is the one, well, Bahamut's power is what is maintaining your soul currently.
Yeah, but if um, see that's complicated. Like it would very much depend on the situation. It's complicated because
Relationship
I don't
status is
think
complicated.
because I don't think Gimut or Bahamut would do something that would like they wouldn't like threaten to kill billions of people or like do something that would end the world.
Killing millions to save billions.
Oh yeah,
No,
if
good, good.
Bahamut went all Thanos, that would be a problem because I'd go against him on that.
You don't in character say anything about it being Bahamut.
No, no, because
Okay.
but yeah, just yeah, my allegiance is just ally with the forces of good. I'm not beholden
Okay.
to one government or another. Born in Darylin, was run away for a while. Was most wanted for. I was the Sword Coast's most wanted for a while. That was no, I was number one for a bit.
That isn't entirely true.
Oh, well,
You likely were never higher up than such beings as Manchun and other high profile beings.
But for the
The
average
Sararak
individual,
being one of them. For the average individual, yes. And you probably would have made the would have made the board. But number one, probably not. And she's not like trying to be offensive in saying this.
yeah,
But like there are arch villains in this
I
world.
know, but like I wasn't really considering those as most wanted because like they're in a
They've been there
different league
forever.
altogether. Like I wouldn't consider um like say Ted Bundy on the same level as the Joker.
Even the Joker's not fool enough to mess with the IRS.
Yeah.
Crazy enough to take
She
on
will.
Batman, but the IRS? No, thank you.
No, thank you. Was it healed like 100 million or something? Um, she would have one more question for everyone, though it requires some context for Cunk. Um, so background context, Amorhen. There's this nation of red wizards, the called Thay. Did you see the movie?
No.
Okay. Um, that are basically for as long as most people can remember have been real. It's had a really high density of people that can do magic, and for the last couple hundred years has been ruled by a lich who turns people into undead so that they will be obedient to him.
Fun.
And the nation for much longer than that has been very much expansionist and a slaving nation.
Okay.
I mean, it would solve the unemployment.
What are your opinions on the proposed alliance with Thay against the cult?
Doesn't matter to me personally.
I don't like him. I don't like the Zentarum. But we allied with the Zentarum. And saying enemy of my enemy is my friend, they're not exactly a friend in this case, but very much a begrudging acquaintance that is on speaking terms.
Here's what Morgan says as a quote from Dylan. Honestly, I don't trust him. But I don't trust most Drow. Now I know how that sounds. What I mean is I realize the danger of dealing with them. That being said, I know even evil people can do good. So if you think it can help us against the cult, I'll go through with it. But I will on a quick way out if it gets hair. So I think that means he doesn't like it, but he's gonna go through with trying. Is what I take from that.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my early suggestions was like I think in like the first council of Waterdeep was like, hell, maybe ask Asmodeus, see if he's okay with Tiamat trying to leave, and if he's not, well, then he's gonna put her in her place.
And then he smites you for daring to ask him questions. Actually, not for daring to ask him questions, for daring to imply
That he
that he
didn't
doesn't,
know
that he
something.
didn't already know. something that was going on in his domain. Uh, yeah. Okay. Uh, think that it'll end there unless you had another question.
What's the next winning lotto numbers for Waterdeep lottery?
Hasn't been a There hasn't been a lottery here in decades.
Damn it!
Why would she know them?
I don't
Why
know.
would why would she be in control of the lottery?
Oh, have you ever
Give me
ventured
the
into
names and
Undermountain?
addresses of all the open lords. Briefly.
How deep did you get?
I honestly don't remember.
Fair enough.
I would hazard to guess probably not as deep as you went.
Yeah, we did take a shortcut, but been down to like the 18th floor.
I've been there. I do not have much desire to go back to Hallister's domain.
19th. Oh, we went to the 20th floor because we went one under the spell chamber.
Yep. So she's been in there. Not much desire to go back to Hallister's domain. Um,
And unfortunately, we don't really have a choice. Me and Morgan are going to have to go back at some point. As we had to make a deal to get the helm back.
a deal with Hallister Blackcloak.
Not with Blackcloak, with one of his former pupils.
That sounds like someone I wouldn't want to break a deal with.
No, particularly because they're a lich.
Yes, and word is you have quite the experience with liches.
I mean, I'm just angry he got away. I know he would have reformed at some point, but it would have been nice to actually kill him. Oh well.
Perhaps if the first stanza of your prophecy holds what you believed at the first meeting, you might get that chance again.
Oh,
Wait, is it first or second? I don't know. It's one of the two.
the skeleton.
Skeletal man rides at her side is... Yeah, it's in the first stanza. Looking familiar, he has much to hide.
Could also just be someone taking a Sarek's visage.
But yes, you have my word that should the 2 days of keeping an eye on symptoms pass uneventfully, um, your wife will be the very next one in line for getting the cure.
Looking forward to actually meeting her, I say to Morgan. Properly. Rather than the brief moments of consciousness I've seen her in.
Yeah. Uh, she's gonna be upset that she wasn't able to help there in Daggerford.
I think she'll be fine with it because she did help.
What?
Shit. I lied about her not helping and being totally fine. She is totally fine, but she helped defended Daggerford and is okay. But she refused to
You
sit out the
lied to
fight.
me?
I look. Don't start with me as if you haven't lied to me before.
What about your wife?
I don't have a wife.
Okay, your sister.
I step away from them.
Look. Okay, so for one, it was Andromeda that asked me to lie about it. Don't tell Morgan.
I mean, she just said to admit it, not lie.
I mean, that's a lie of omission. A lie of omission is still a lie.
The problem was she didn't know you were speaking out loud when you were talking to her, which you said you were doing.
Hey, is it better to find out now so you'll be nice and calm about it when you actually see her, or find out that she helped out when you're seeing her and she's in whatever state of consciousness she happens to be in, so you're not calm and don't get to actually enjoy those moments of consciousness?
So you didn't end it there. So I think Dylan needs to be here for. I don't know how he reacts beyond the initial.
What?